Okay, so piecewise functions are often not students' favorites. We're going to kind of really just touch on them so that you know what they are and have had some experience with them. Piecewise functions, weird way of saying that it's a function in pieces, okay? So you're going to have, on your graph, you could have like a line going this way and a line going, going that way or something like that, okay? It's a graph in pieces, basically. Here's the big fancy way to say it, okay? You need to pause and write all of this down. Now, pause, write this down, hit play. You have now written this down, so I can talk about it. A piecewise function, it's defined by two or more equations. It's not like a system where you have your two equations that intersect, okay? In this case, it's two equations that are really just part. For example, we've got x minus 2 if x is less than or equal to 0. And we have 2x plus 1 if x is greater than 0. Okay, so it gives us lines that we only get pieces of because it's only the piece that's below 0 or the piece that's above 0, depending on which piece it is. So we're gonna do two different things with piecewise functions. First, we're gonna do some calculations, and then next week we will actually do some graphing of them, and then we'll talk about some special ones. So right now we're gonna just evaluate the function. We want to know what is f of x. Remember, that's just a y. Don't let that freak you out. Okay, when x is equal to -1. So the first thing you need to do is look, okay, when x is -1. Well, which one of these does that apply to? If x is less than or equal to 0, that would be -1 would fit in there, right? Because -1 is less than 0, so we're talking about that one right there. So what that means is that then you put your -1 in for that x. So -1 minus 2 equals -3. And that's your answer, okay? Show me your work, though, to get there. Don't just give me the answer. Whoops. Then we need to do when x is 1. Okay, well, we need to look at this. X is going to be greater than 0, so that means it fits into this one. So we're going to put a 1 into this x. So we're going to do 2 times 1 plus 1, which would equal 2 times 1 positive 3. So technically, these are your answers, okay? That's your answer to that, and that's your answer to that. Many of you will want to put -1 into both of those and get two answers, but you can't because -1 is not greater than 0. We'll keep doing some examples, I promise. Okay. Notice now we have 3 equations that we need to pick from. Okay, so we need to decide, where does the -8 fit? Well, x is less than -2. -8 is less than -2, so we need to use this one. So we need to put -8. Well, there's no place to put it, right? So your answer is just 3. Because if x is less than -2, then your answer is just 3. I'm going to erase my scribbles from that one so I can move on. F is 0. Well, which one is these? Okay, so x is less than -2. Well, 0 is not less than -2, so it's not that one. Okay, I'm going to go down here to the bottom one. X is greater than 5. Well, it's not that one. Okay, what this is saying is that your number, this number, is going to be between -2 and 5, which 0 is. If you put a timeline, -2, 5, 0 is going to be somewhere in the middle, right? So that means you're going to put your 0 in for that x. So 0 plus 2 gives you 2. Again, I'm going to erase my stuff here. So now we need to look at where f is 5. X is 5. Okay? Well, this one says that x is greater than 5, not or equal to, so it's not that one. Notice this one is x is less than or equal to 5, so therefore we're going to put our 5 into that x. And so 5 plus 2 would be 7. Get some more colors going on here. Okay, so then we need to look at f of negative 2, which means x is negative 2. And again, same thing as the 5. This one here, negative 2, is less than or equal to x, so it's going to need to go in that x, okay? Because this one doesn't have an or equal to. It will never fit into more than one. It's only ever going to fit into one of your equations. So negative 2 plus 2, so that gives us 0. And then 3, well, last time I checked, 3 is between negative 2 and 5. It's going to be like right here, right? So that means, hold on, let me erase some of this. So that means we're going to use this one because it's between negative 2 and 5. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay. And then our last one, we're going to do, I don't like that color. We're going to do in pink, and we're going to do 10. Oops, 10. So if you look at this one, x is greater than 5, 10 is greater than 5, so we're going to put our 10 in here and do 4 times 10, which is 40. So there we have all of our answers. Okay, I'm going to go back and talk about this first one again. If your number, if your equation doesn't have an x in it, then that number is just your answer. Okay, those kind of get confusing to us. We'll talk about those more, don't worry. And then here's just one last to make sure we know what we're doing without all those scribbles. When x equals 1, which one of these does it fit in? X equaling 1, well, 1 isn't less than 0, it's greater than 0, so we're going to put it in here. So 1 minus 3 equals negative 2, and that's our answer. Let me know in chat if you have any questions.